Hey guys, so I'm starting with the new series for the subject Network Security. Remember, this is TY-BSc-IT Semester 5 subject. Now, in this particular lecture series, I'll be discussing all the questions, the whole unit in question answer wise format, and at the end of every unit, we'll be having one revision lecture which is purely based on previous year's questions which are asked on that particular unit. So let's start with this subject, and simultaneously I'm also going to continue lecture series on Linux as well, and in future I'll be also starting with other subject. So keep following the same thing, and by the end of 3 months I'll be coming with many new subjects, lectures and notes as well. So for this subject, for Linux, these are the two series which is going on currently. For both this series, you can find notes in a video description section. If that link is not present yet, so you can just check it in a few days. I'll be preparing notes for I'll be preparing notes on the same subject within few days. I'll complete it, and unit wise I'm going to provide notes because I have to add many different questions which are asked in last KT exam as well. I mean this year's KT exam as well. So be patient. Unit wise will be uploading notes there, as well as unit wise we are going to cover each and every section, and believe me, we can cover the whole series, the whole subject within a given time frame, that is before our board exam. Sure shot we can complete the same series. I mean before, at least before 2 months we'll be done with our lecture series. So just keep following it. You can depend on this particular lecture series. You don't need to follow anything else. I mean just keep following the same thing. And when we talk about board exams, don't refer too many notes. Just refer any one notes, whether it is from college, whether it is from some classes, or whether you refer my notes. So just keep referring any one note only. If we are facing some problem, then only go for multiple notes for some specific topic only. Otherwise just trust on any one notes. And in my subject, the whatever lecture series I am following right now, you can depend on those particular notes only, because from last 3 to 4 years I am dealing with the same subject, and I know in and out of that particular subject. So whatever notes I am providing you, you can fully depend on those notes. And one more thing, as I said, we are going to discuss whole subject, and at the end of every unit we are going to take one revision lecture, and that revision lecture is purely based on previous year's board papers only, for all the other subject which I'm going to start in future. I hope this particular point is clear. So let's start with unit 1 of network security. Here is the notes compiled by me. As you can see, our network security notes for TY-BSc-IT semester 5. My name is Professor Diruk Parmar. As you can see, this is some details. You can see here is email ID given. This is my email ID. If you have any doubt or query, feel free to ping me on this. And for other future lecture, you can follow me on a link given, that is youtube.com/c/Diruk Parmar. Now in this particular lecture, we are going to discuss mainly few of the most important questions. As you can see, these are the most important questions which are already asked in previous year's board exams. So from 3 to 4 previous year board papers, I have compiled this question, and all this question we are going to discuss one by one in our future lecture with respect to unit 1. Plus we are also going to discuss rest other theory part as well. So we are going to cover in and all everything in this particular subject, but we need to more emphasize on this particular question because they are most likely to ask in coming exam as well. So let's start with our subject. as you can see, this is our portion or syllabus for unit 1. So unit 1 basically divided in two parts. First is computer security and second is cryptography. In computer security, we need to discuss this four parts, that is introduction, what do you mean by computer security, why do we need computer security, what are the principles which are relevant to computer security, and which types of attack we should know. Because if we know types of attack, then only it is possible for us to block or to provide or take precaution against those attacks. So that way we need to understand types of different attacks as well. Then in cryptography, we are going to learn about different algorithms. Remember cryptography, converting plain text into non-readable, that is encrypted text, and the same way vice versa. So if I want to communicate or if I want to send or receive some data over an internet, and I don't want some third person to look into those data, and I don't want any third person to know what are the details present in that particular document. Now, in very less chances, we can protect our document, but it might possible someone still tries to hack that particular document, or someone still tries to attack that document and try to look into that document, what is there. In those situations, we need to convert that document into non-readable format, so that one cannot easily interpret what is written in that particular document. And for the same reason, we need to learn all this algorithm. These are very simple. We'll learn it one by one. As you can see, plain text, cybertext, some definitions, then substitution technique. This is an algorithm. Caesar cipher, monoalphabetic cipher, polygram, and different algorithms. So let's start one by one discussing the same. So here are unit 1, and in that our first part, as you can see, I have created in a bit different way, so that we can easily read it, and many times we feel boring reading just those textbooks only page by page. So instead of that, there must be some excitement when we talk about any particular subject. So that is the only reason I have created this notes in this particular fashion, as you can see. So let's start discussing. First question, as you can see, is computer security. What do you mean by that? So what do you mean by computer security? Securing our computer, securing what data available on our computer. We can secure our computer physically and logically as well. So physically means I'm not going to allow any unknown person to enter into my room. That is what we mean by physical security. At the same time, when we talk about logical security, that means we need to put password on our computer so that unauthorized users should not get access of our computer. Password, we have different types of password. Biometric password. Biometric means face recognition, retina recognition, voice recognition. At the same time, we can keep a simple password as well, like our text password, and many different ways. So the meaning of term computer security has evolved in recent years. Before, the problem of data security became widely publicized in media, most people's idea of computer security focused on physical machine, not on actual data which is present there. So when we talk about a subject that is called as network security, we just not talk about physical security of that particular machine, but we actually talk about different aspect with respect to data which is present, with respect to data which we are sending out of our network, or sending outside of our computer network, or receiving some data within our computer network. So in both this term, we need to discuss our security aspects. So as you can see, we need to protect our data broadly in three reasons. So first, prevent theft or damage of hardware. That is very basic way, we all know this. Prevent theft and damage to hardware. Second is prevent theft or damage to information. That means securing our database. That is the most important part. The information which is present on your system, that plays one of the most important part when we talk about any multinational company or any big project. So data or information which is present on your computer is more valuable than the value of your computer. So that is the only reason it is very important for us to protect those information. And last part is to prevent disruption of our service. As we know, disruption, service should be consistent. It should not be disrupted at any point of time. So whenever user demands or whenever user asks for any type of data, that data should be available. As you can see, some other points which we need to remember: strict procedures for access of our machine. The most important part here: strict procedure for access to machine room are used most organizations, and these procedures are often an organization's only obvious computer security measure. So I'm not going to allow any third person in my computer room. That is a very simple formula, or that is very simple technique which is followed by each and every one. But in today's era, when we talk about Internet of Things, where everything is connected, all the devices, all computer, our laptop, tablet, mobile phone, are many different devices which we have at our home or office. They all are basically connected with internet, directly or indirectly. So in that era, when we talk about Internet of Things and when we talk about everything where everything is linked over internet with each other, so just providing a physical security not going to solve our problem. And for the same reason, we need to provide not just physical security but logical security as well, where we are going to protect our data, our machine, with the help of some algorithms. And that algorithms are very important to understand for us as well. Remember, if we talk about WhatsApp or if we talk about any other chatting application, they all use such type of algorithms to protect their users data, confidential information. At the same time, if we talk about some other online transaction, if I try to pay some money or if I try to pay online bill of my mobile phone or something using credit card or debit card, at that time as well, when I enter all my credit card and other details, to secure those details as well, we apply some algorithms. So as we know, algorithm plays most important role in today's era. Whenever we talk about any type of application, whether that application is cloud based, whether that application is just computer based, or whether it is a purely mobile based application, so each and every part of our IT in today's time, we need security not just in terms of physical but in terms of logical as well. And how to understand, because if we don't understand what types of attacks are going to happen on us, then it is very difficult to provide a security as well. And here we are going to understand which type of attacks might happen on our computer and which type of security we should apply in which terms, and what is the value of our data, whether our data is too much valuable or whether our data is not that important. So based on the level or valuability of our data, we are going to provide different levels of security. Remember, if we talk about data which is present on my Facebook account, yeah, those data are important but not that important. At the same time, if I talk about data or information which is present about me in some bank where I have my own account, so that data is much more valuable as compared to data which is present on Facebook. And hence, in this two different example or in this two different places, we need to apply different level of security. That is what we mean by this particular topic. So we have, as you can see, now this is very simple terms, you can just easily read it. So the most important crux of this particular point I have already explained. So now let's discuss second part of our unit 1. So as you can see here, we have second part of our unit, that is security models. So first type of model where we don't have any security. Why? uh, we are not keeping any valuable information on those computers, and hence we don't require any more security over the same. In this simplest case, the approach could be a decision to implement no security at all. Why? Because we don't need to keep any security, because our data, because the data or computer which we are using, they are publicly accessible to each and every one of us, and hence we are not keeping any valuable data on that machine, and hence we don't require any security. Second type is security through obscurity. So in this model, a system is secure simply because nobody knows about its existence and content. So we have kept some machines like our servers. So if we talk about most of time big companies, their server are not known to anyone. It is known to very few people only, and this approach cannot work for too long, as there are many ways attacker can come to know about it. So if we talk about our most valuable server or machine, so most of time only few administrator or top level persons only knows about where we have kept all those information or our database servers. And it is not like it is no one can identify the location of those database server. No, one can identify. So as you can see here, it is the most simplest, nobody knows about it and its existence and content, and we have to secure, still we need to secure it. Why? Because no one knows right now, no one knows, but it might possible someone tries to attack on our form, and from there one can find easily from where or on which location we are firing our queries. So hence in second type we need to apply little bit security on some servers which is not known in a public domain. Third type is host security. Remember, host security, host means machines which we have in our network. So in this scheme, the security for each host is enforced individually. So every individual computer and a person who is using those computers, they are going to provide different passwords on the same machine. So it is their responsibility to secure their own machines. So this is very safe approach, but the trouble is that it cannot scale well. Why? Because each and every machine, some other third person or some new person is using it, and they are providing security level as per their needs and requirement. The complexity and diversity of modern sites and organization makes task even more harder for them. Why? Because we are just giving machines to different if suppose if we are working in some company as a developer, then that company offers us one computer where we are going to work then onwards. So it is our responsibility to put password on those machine. It is our responsibility to take proper precautions to data or project which is present on that machine to make it secure. So it is very hard to basically protect this type of machine, because every individual is going to protect their own machine. Next comes final, that is network security. So here we are going to protect our server, host, as well as the data which we are going to exchange between host and server, both these things. So host security is tough to achieve an organization's grow and become more diverse. In this technique, the focus is to control network access to various hosts. So basically we are going to control from where those computer or host computer are going to access their data, and then what we are going to do, we are going to start providing security from that level only. So as you can see, rather than individual host security, this is very efficient and scalable model as well. So instead of putting security over each and every computer, what we are going to do, we are going to provide security on the whole network. And when we provide security over the whole network, that means whatever data they are going to send or receive within a network or outside a network, on each and everything we are going to make a watch. We can secure it, we can block it, we can unblock it, we can do whatever we want with the help of this type of a structure. So I hope this particular 2 points are clear. Now here, this is very introductory lecture, so I have just given you introduction. In next lecture we'll start discussing about why do we need security. Stay tuned with us and keep watching this lecture, because I'm going to cover whole unit here. Thank you.